All right, guys. Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Mr. Boom. Hey, everybody.
Nice. All right. Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Steve.
Yeah. So Steve is my friend, my boss, and currently my roommate as well. So I see this.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I see this guy, 10 hours a day, 14 hours a day?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So what were we doing earlier today?
Joseph and I created this fictional character, Mr. Boom. So it's the children's educational channel. So it's about teaching English through a real interactive way instead of like the textbook stuff.
Yeah, so none of the, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're not going to find that at Mr.
Right.
Boom's channel.
So if you want authentic English learning materials for your children, subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. It's I actually really enjoy it myself. I think the editing is really good, and it's actually all the episodes are very different. It really keeps you engaged and interested. So
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, and actually John, who's appeared in I think just one of my videos, but he's very famous. He's so cute. John's in the videos sometimes, and I will actually be in one of them coming up too. So if you guys want to kind of
stay tuned.
See what it's all about. I think maybe I'll show a little bit of background footage on what was going on for this next video that you have, but a lot of fun. And so it'll be somewhere like a link to his channel, maybe in the description somewhere. But yeah, just check around the video. We'll have a link to check him out.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So what do you do here in Taiwan?
All right. So by the way, thanks for having me.
Yeah. No worries. I'm happy to have you.
So I have been English teacher I've been teaching for 15 years. Yes, I am that old.
You cut me. You beat me to it.
I also started a few schools in Taoyuan and in Yilan and Taipei. So yeah, I'm still teaching and I love teaching. And it's been a lot of fun. So Joseph and I have been working together. Joseph's a great teacher. He's got a really awesome personality, really easy guy to hang out with, and he's really flexible. He's really nice, and all the kids love him.
So I'll give you the money for that for that little speech after.
Right.
Yeah. No, thanks, Steve. I appreciate the kind words.
So we've been working together, teaching and things like that.
Awesome. Yeah. So building off of all your experience, I want to kind of go through maybe some of the most common mistakes that we hear or see while we're in Taiwan. English mistakes.
Fun.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do some kind of funny thumbnail with the fingers are counting up to 10 if anyone was guessing. But yeah, so we'll see if we can get through 10, and should we do rock, paper, scissors? Who goes first? Or
rock,
how you
paper,
want to do
scissors,
it?
it is.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Wait, in Canada, you would say paper, scissors, stone, or rock, paper, scissors?
No, we say rock, paper, scissors.
Really?
Canada's not a weird place, man. Okay, rock, paper, scissors. All right, so what am I doing? Am I first or second?
You can go first.
I'll go first. All right. So I've noticed that a lot of Taiwanese people like to put tones on their English words, like they're speaking Chinese.
Right.
So
yeah, because like the Chinese, we have there's like 5 tones, right? We have the da, 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 da.
Yeah.
There's like that soft tone.
Yeah, the qing sheng, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jinsen.
So like it happens all the time. It's on all the word, like every sentence that I hear, but it's like my name is Annie or something like that. Like you just get the tones going up and down, and the thing is first of all, it sounds a little bit not native when you're saying it, but also
it doesn't sound natural.
It can get a little bit challenging when because in English we'll sometimes have like a falling tone almost when we're trying to say something like do it now.
Right.
Like we'll have a falling tone, or do it now. Like you want me to do it now? Like those are two different sentences. Do it now. Like
so you're asking a question, right? So
yeah.
Can you help me? Can you help me?
Yeah.
Right,
so it is something that you got to be careful for, because it can lead to some communication errors.
Miscommunications, for
but
sure.
But I think overall, if you have some tones on it, it's not the worst, but it is something that we see a lot here.
Right. Okay.
So I'm off the hook for number 1. Number 2.
Like just off the top of my head right now, I would say the subject and verb agreement. So it's because I also speak Mandarin, I speak Chinese. So in Chinese, we don't have to worry about that stuff, right? So the I do, she does, he does. It's just not natural, like, right?
Yeah,
so
it's everything's so easy. Like 我是,他是,我们是. Like it's all nothing changes. So
knowing that, so during the class we do have to do a lot of drills, just to focus on getting the students to get familiar and get used to the subject and verb agreement.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately with English, it's just something that you do have to drill through. It's not like a shortcut fix.
Definitely.
So what would you say to people who are struggling with like the subject verb matching?
I think self-awareness is very important. Try to pay attention when you speak, and if you have that, if you notice that you do make mistakes like that, I think after a while, after some practice, you will eventually get rid of that. You will.
Yeah, I liked it when you said pay attention, because if you're able to pay attention and hear a native speaker conjugate a verb, say I do like pizza, not I does like pizza. If you can start hearing native speakers do that, and be like, oh hey, that sounded a little bit different than how I say it. And if you're able to kind of catch that, that is another way. It's just kind of listening to how.
So self-awareness is the key.
All right, that puts it on me now for the next one, and so this one I'm gonna get it off my chest right away, because this is the one that I dislike the most, and I'm not gonna hold back on this, because this one really annoys me, and that is the I don't know. I don't know. 我不知道. I don't know. They say I hear students say that at least, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say six times at the very least every class. How about you? Like, do you hear that all the time?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's actually going back to our previous problem where we said they're adding the tones on I don't know.
It's like that 我不知道.
Yeah, 我不知道. Yeah, so
I don't know.
The reason I don't like it, it's not because they have the Chinese tones on it. The reason I really don't like that is because they say it no matter what I'm saying. So if I say, please read the second sentence on the page, and they say, I don't know. I don't know. Like, do you not understand what I'm saying? Do you not know what page number we're on? It just, when you say I don't know what you don't know, and it's just, it really breaks down the communication, and it kind of makes me feel like, oh, you just don't want to engage in the lesson. And so I have one student, and I think I've heard her like say it less than 3 times in over like 4 months. And what she says is, she will tell me, I don't understand this word that you said, or can you repeat it, or can you say it another way for me? Like, she will, and her English is quite good, but I do have other students too their English is not that good, and they will try to find ways to communicate on where the lack of understanding is. And I think for me, that extra effort, that step forward by the student, it really, wow, like, this student's really trying, and it gives me a boost too. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, how can I help you, bridge the gap of that lack of understanding? And I think really, for me, it marks the difference between a good student and a bad student. Right. I don't know what your opinions are on that.
Yeah, this is, so maybe some of your audience are teachers.
Yeah.
English teachers. This is why when a student says that to me, I don't know, I never take I don't know for an answer. So it's important how we as teachers to rephrase our questions, to ask questions in different aspects, try to guide the student to answer the question rather than giving the answer to the students. Right. So
I think you can do that. If any of you guys are parents, like, if if you're speaking Chinese or whatever, like just
Right.
eliciting with children is always a great way to go, whether you're learning science or Chinese or anything, right? It's like definitely a good tool.
Yeah, if you're a parent, if you're a teacher, really just guide them. You have to guide them. You can't just kind of give them the answer, right? They have to learn how to fish for it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so that puts us to number 4, I think.
Okay, so it's my turn?
Yeah, it's back to you.
Let me think about it. Okay, so another one would be the lack of S in verbs. So it has something to do with the subject as well. So it was like he or she thinks. I think it's also not a self-awareness, because when you in Mandarin we have to worry about the S after the verbs, right? So like she thinks, instead of saying she think, you have to say she thinks with the S. But if the subject is I, you don't have to add the extra S after the verb.
Yeah, I actually was doing a little bit of research before this conversation, and I came across this word called consonant clusters. And it's when there are like a whole bunch of consonants, so things that aren't A, E, I, or U, and they're all together in a word. So when you say thinks, it's we got THI, we got N, K, and S all together, and I think it might be a little bit of a harder thing for Taiwanese people to pronounce. So that's just another hurdle, and it just comes with practice. You got to practice and try to get yourself to fully pronounce the words, because if you are trying to learn English and you take a shortcut right now, there's pros and cons. You can maybe communicate faster, but then you can also get these bad habits where you're just dropping S's like everywhere in all the sentences.
Yeah, you have to be aware. I just know like a lot of my students don't care. They think she thinks and she think are the same. Actually, it's like it's very different.
So just get some good habits when it comes to those.
Build good habits. For sure.
All right, so I got an easy one, so you got to get ready. This one's gonna go fast. It's an easy one for everyone out there too, and it is the word toast. So toast is an English word. There's nothing wrong with the word toast, but maybe Steve, you can kind of chime in here. What is toast? Can you tell us what toast is?
So toast is bread that you put in the oven or in the toaster. So it should be warm. Right. So right out of the oven.
So if you go to Canada or the US and you ask a restaurant, a waitress, anyone for toast, but what you're wanting is you're just wanting like a plain piece of bread, like you're not going to get that plain piece of bread back. So before when we were saying, it's okay, your grammar might be off, but we can understand you. This is one where you're actually going to be misunderstood.
You're going to be misunderstood.
So it is definitely a quick
what
one.
Is it? What is the 吐司 we get in the store? What is the 吐司? Right, we'll just say it's bread. That's what we would say. We would just say that like that's bread. Exactly. But then you put the bread in the oven or toaster, it becomes
toast.
All
Easy.
right.
This one is easy. This is a quick fix. All right, that was quick. Back to you.
I would think that adding S or ES after a noun. So there are a lot of like countable and uncountable nouns, like water. Like
If you don't say get me waters.
No waters, and like a lot of times the nouns, the singular and plural are actually two different words, like 1 foot, 2 feet. Right?
I just feel like English sucks as you're saying these.
It is confusing for a lot of people.
Definitely.
Especially for kids.
All right. The next one for me, I'm losing track of what number we're on here. I think I started first, right? So 3. I think we're on number 8 already, and mine is the extra syllable. That people put. So this one here. Extra syllable, what I mean is I hear a lot of yes or and Just a lot of adding those
extra sound.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like for me, when I first came, I hear people talking like that. I think you're like having like a Japanese accent almost. I was kind of surprised with how often I hear Taiwanese people adding those extra vowels. But I think there is a challenge of like stopping on that consonant. So it's like and or yes. It is challenging for people. I actually had a bunch of students challenged with that today. For this though, it is an accent problem, which is hard. So how would you recommend trying to fix these type of pronunciation errors?
To fix it's really hard, right? Because they didn't Taiwanese people didn't really. You guys don't grow up,
right?
You didn't grow up in an English-speaking environment,
right? I when I was learning Chinese, I personally like the approach of filming yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
it's called mirroring, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you can record yourself and listen to yourself, and then compare to how native speakers speak, then you can kind of fix it along the way. Actually, I got something to say about this. So this could be actually a lot of English teachers' fault.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think so.
So, like I said, I've been teaching for 15 years.
Yeah.
So when I first started teaching, I also made the same mistake.
Yeah.
So for phonics, a long time ago, a lot of teachers are trained to teach that way. So we would say a, and then we would say b, 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 or c, 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 k.
I've actually seen a lot of famous people, famous teachers or early childhood educators do that mistake too. It's everywhere.
Right. So
gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, that was number 7. I misspoke. So you're up with number 8 here.
All right. So the next one, I'm gonna go with articles.
Okay.
Yeah. So article word the and or an.
I hear this one all the time.
So yeah, this one is very challenging for Taiwanese students or Taiwanese people. So for example, can you give me the Coke, or can you give me a Coke?
Yeah, technically those are both grammatically correct, right? But
Yep.
they have different meanings. How do you differentiate when to use the versus a?
Okay, so if you want to be specific, you would use the word the. So a can of Coke that I didn't finish, and I'm just putting it over there, and I can say, hey Joseph, can you give me the Coke?
Right.
That's on the table.
We both know which Coke
We
we're
both
talking
know
about.
that specific Coke.
Right.
If it's just any Coke, it could be in the fridge, could be in on the table. Just hey, just give me a Coke. I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's in the one in the fridge or
Right.
on the table. I didn't specify.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so this one, I think for me, sometimes I can guess through context what the Taiwanese speaker is trying to say, but this one can lead to communication challenges
Right.
because I actually don't know which one you're talking about. So this is one to try to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, and this is number 9, and that is the alphabet. So first off, we actually don't really teach the alphabet until I think the kids are getting into spelling and stuff. It's all phonics to start off, right?
Yeah, Joseph, this is actually the correct way. So a lot of people, a lot of teachers, they teach kids the actual letter, the name of the letter, like A, B, C. The best way to teach kids is sounding out the word phonetically. So instead of teaching them is A, B, C, it should be this is A, B, K.
Yeah, because if you just are using the sounds of the actual letters and you're trying to say the word mom, then you're gonna say M-O-M.
Yeah.
That's not mom. You spelled it, but you're not learning how to actually say words.
Right.
But on that note, I do want to say when you do get to spelling, which happens especially now that we're doing a lot of online classes with the the lagginess of things. Sometimes I have to ask the students to spell something because I can't hear them clearly, and I'm hearing a lot of Ella. How do they say H?
I can't do that. So
they say something funny, but I actually don't understand what letter they're trying to say. So
maybe you want to specify on the actual letter you're talking about. So
yeah.
For the letter L,
yeah,
what we often hear is what?
Ella,
right? It's
Yeah.
actually the proper way to say it is L.
L, yeah.
And then another one is the letter M, right?
M, I'm trying to think. M. How do they say M?
Emu.
Oh yeah, M.
Emu. Oh no, there's a M. And another one is the letter N.
Yeah, N is bad too. That's the
And
one
it's
I
like
thought of.
N.
Yeah, so just be careful. Like ABCs is if you just find any sort of native speaker saying that, like that one most people don't get wrong if you're a native speaker. But be careful, because when you're, especially actually, it is very important, because in a lot of emergency situations, you're calling the police or something, you have to get information across quickly. If people aren't understanding you as you're spelling things, it can be very dangerous sometimes. So
maybe you want to teach your audience how to say it correctly.
Yeah, just all of them, or
the common mistake. So
so we got
this one is,
we got L,
and this one is
M, and N. I think those are the most common. Oh, and
how about
H.
R?
Yeah, maybe R is another one too.
Yeah.
Those are all some challenging ones. So L, M, N, R, and H, which is actually at the beginning of the alphabet. But yeah, those ones are all the challenging ones. All right, finish us off here, Steve.
So the last one, I'm gonna go with the incorrect way to use the verb to be. The verb to be.
This one is a tough one.
Yeah, this one is really tough. So let me give you an example. I go to school every day, right?
Yeah,
so a
that's
lot of times I would hear people say, I am go to school. She is go to school, right? So you don't really need the verb to be in there, right? So you don't need to say I am go to school. Just say I go to school every day.
Right.
And another mistake would be without using the verb to be. like they lack the verb to be. So for example, teacher, I bathroom. Or I happy. Right. Because I am happy.
Yeah. Where is that mistake coming from? Why are they saying I happy?
Because like in Mandarin, Chinese, we would say 我很高兴. So like I very happy is the direct translation. So it should be I am very happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of those mistakes come from because you're like juggling between two different languages.
Right. I think sometimes too it's a little bit of laziness, like I bathroom. They literally, because you can't even say that in Chinese, right? Like 我厕所, like
bathroom.
It doesn't even make sense in Chinese. But yeah, that one's hard, but it is. I think that this one is important if you're trying to get to that next level. I think this one is hard for beginners. But
if you're like a beginner in learning English, I am go to school, she is go to school, or I happy. I mean, we still understand.
Yeah. Don't kill yourself. And really, everything that we've said today is not to discourage you to talk English. I think really communicating is the goal. And if you can get there, then the next goal is to just push it up a little farther. Just get yourself to that next step. And that's really what today is all about. Just to kind of, maybe, I think a lot of people over time, you just don't realize what mistakes you're making, and just to hopefully one thing here today can help you guys improve your English.
Right. So yeah, just so you know, just to remember, learning a new language is a long game.
Yeah.
It is the long game.
Definitely.
So take your time, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, is enjoying the ride. Because if you burn out, it's over.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to have fun. I think learning a language is one of the most fun things you can do. So
you can make friends, right? It's not about passing tests.
Yeah. Right. Friends, you can watch television,
take your time,
movies,
self-aware,
go traveling, come to Canada, check it out.
Right.
You can do so many things if you have another language. So
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for
All right.
today.
All right.
Again, I'll throw Bang Bang Xiansheng's URL into the channel. I actually will take Steve to see Canada kind of virtually through a green screen in this episode. So if you ever are interested in like what Canada has to offer and also kind of what Mr. Boom is all about, check out the video. It'll be somewhere in the description. Look for it. It'll be somewhere.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, no worries.
Check it out.
All right, so guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. 如果喜欢今天的影片的话，请按赞，还有订阅，还有什么？
按那个小当当，
按铃铛吗？
小铃铛，
小铃铛。
Yeah.
Okay,
Right here.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.
Yeah.
Saw beauty in the selflessness of giving. Heard sorrow in the songs of 1,000 merchantmen, singing just to fill their emptiness. Knew wisdom was a choice of the moment, there for you to be now.
This one's gonna be a pain to translate to Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
All right.